Hey kittens, it's Leo, and I'm back with another video. I know I missed last week, and I'm not sure the week before then. I was meant to post last week during my days off, but I'm not gonna lie to you, a girl was lazy, but it's not like I wasn't thinking about you. During those weeks, I was creating like three videos, three builds. I ended up building this church right here and a hotel, which will be in another video as well. And I ended up like also modifying a bar, but I'm trying to find the footage for that because I've lost it. I'm not gonna lie, I lost it. So I'm trying to find footage for that. And yeah, but I'm here. I am back with another video, and here I am building this church, this wedding venue. I've always wanted to make my own wedding venue. Like I've seen other people build one, like a farm or like outside or inside, but like I don't see a lot of like inside wedding venues or like church wedding venues. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I just build my own? And this is also in Sunset Valley. If you are curious where I'm building this at, it's one of those lots that are empty. If you have other expansion packs like I do, like you'll get like a little um like dine in and a little night bar right next to it, and then you'll have another empty square next to the bar, and that's where I'm building it at. I decided to build this church slash wedding venue here because of the view. Of course, of the view. I thought that this would be like the best view for a wedding. You get like an ocean like view with the lighthouse and everything. Like it was just gorge. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna build this church. Now, as someone who doesn't really go to church, I don't really know what a church looks like, nowadays. Mainly just the inside of a church. I remember going to a church when I was like little. I will say I was like 5 years old, but like it was in the countryside, so that girl was small and she was a shack, okay? So, I just was like, you know what? Let me try to build a church in my image or what I think church should look like. Usually, most churches look very old and vintage and gothic. I was in interior design school. It's called. There's a name for it. Gothic or Gotharine. I forgot the name for it, but it has like this gothic look to it, this vintage look, and so I decided to like build a church, but I'm not gonna lie, because I didn't have any idea what a church looks like in the inside. I was really struggling, so I did have to kind of step out and get some inspiration from other people's builds and kind of see like what theirs look like, and also on the internet just look up like what a church is and what it looks like. Unfortunately I couldn't find any windows that had like religious symbolism on it, or like colorful windows. Like I know there are some in the Sims, but like it wasn't giving what I was wanting to give. So I'm looking for big windows, and the windows that were like colorful were pretty small. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to abandon that idea and just go with clear see-through windows, and let's just pretend like they are you can't see through them, privacy reasons. But yeah, I know many churches, they have like small classroom for children and all these other rooms, but I was mainly focused on the wedding aspect of it rather than like the religious aspect of it. But I did, keep that in mind, to still have like a religious area. But once I was able to get inspiration from other builders, like I was set on everything. As you can see, like I start to like speed through this thing because I said, you know what? I am locked in. So you couldn't tell me nothing at this point. Like I had a thing in mind. I said, you know what? I was gonna put like another like wedding, like you can get married inside the church, but I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, it's a church. Yes, you can get married inside the building. Maybe I'll add like an altar later on, but I did not in this video. I decided to have like the altar and all the guest stuff be outside because it's just prettier that way. And I just started building from there. I was like, you know what, I'll put like a stance, you can preach to the church. I had to remember to add bathrooms because I said people need to go potty. Okay, I had like a area because some churches, they do have areas, or maybe I'm tripping. Like I said, I don't quote me on this, I'm not a religious person, but I'm pretty sure, like, you can have events where you're like, oh, I'm gonna rent out this space for like little parties. I remember, I grew up with a bunch of like Hispanic people, specifically Mexicans, and like every time they would have quinceañeras or really big parties, it always seemed like we were at a church, but it was just like, oh, we're renting this space. Or just like random venues that you can just rent out to have big parties in. But I started to like remember that because I would go to church with them, Catholic church with them, and just go just because and be supportive. Though I'm not a religious person myself, I wouldn't say that I'm an atheist. I respect other people's religion, and I'm not against like other people's religion either. I respect all, and plus, like, out of curiosity, I just wanted to see what it was about because, like I said, I don't really go to church like that. Last time I went to church, I was like 5 years old. So, and I'm 25. So, yeah, that was a very long time ago. But yeah, like I'm literally just getting inspiration off of other people. So if my church doesn't look like an actual church, that's why. But I really did my best on here, so please don't be too harsh on me. So I wanted to talk more about while I am building this church. It's because I started just playing The Sims normally. I just started just playing as is and just having fun with it. And I ended up making these two lovebirds, Aaron Kennedy and Christopher Steele. I decided to pair these two up together because I thought that they would make a cute couple. They're both not really originally from Sims Valley. They just moved into town. They're very new. Erin, she's kind of more so shy. She's in the she works in the military, and she loves reading books and stuff like that. Based on like what I read, it just kind of seems like she's a loner for the most part. Though she does not have that personality trait, she definitely can talk to people, but it just seems like she's a little insecure about that, a little social anxiety. Versus Christopher, like from what his bio says, it seems like he got it all. He is a very lucky man. Everything comes easy to him, and he's hoping that he gets some challenges here. He's like, life is too easy, okay? So I always, like, every time I played The Sims, like, I always thought that to match them up, because I always thought they would be like the cutest couple. That's just me, I feel like they're just alike, why not put them together? Like, they just, like, for me, I just feel like it just makes sense for them to like be a couple. And every time I pair them up, they always mash well together anyway. So it's like, shoot, heck yeah. So like I decided to just focus on them and just make them a family, build like generation, wealth or whatever. Just see if I can, build a legacy with these two. So yeah, you'll see the later on I like made like a cute little video of their wedding, him proposing, them on their little date. Like I decided to put that all together in the end of this video. So I hope you guys watch towards the end to see the wedding after, like in this venue I just built. It was just a beautiful thing, and like I didn't cheat with their love. Like I literally took my time. Like they literally went on dates. No, I didn't record it all because I just simply wanted to play the game itself and just enjoy the game without, worry about recording and being like, oh, I need to edit this later. Does this look good? That looked good. Because it's like I just kind of want to just enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? But as I was, doing my research, because I just discovered Sims Wiki, and people on The Sims doing backstories on like The Sims and like the lore of The Sims. I was thinking maybe I should do videos on that, doing like the background lore of The Sims, because like they had so much information that I didn't even know about, and I've watched other YouTubers do it because it keeps me interested and stuff like that. But the only downside with me like getting into that is that my game computer literally crashed with me trying to like freely download Riverview. and like I had to start everything all over again, re-download everything. So I kind of fear my game crashing again trying to download new worlds, which I something that I will love and hopefully get to do someday. It's just a matter of figuring out if I can. So yeah, maybe when I figure that out, I might start doing like background lore on that. But if I do get started, it'll just be on towns that I can actually like get access to, which is, for example, Sunset Valley. I've noticed that when people do videos, they mainly talk about the main families, which understandable, there's more information backgrounds on them. But looking at the background for Christopher Steele, it seems like he does have some connections with other Sims and either the Sims 2 or 1. I'm not exactly sure, but he does have a relation. It didn't specify if he was related to them, but they definitely share the same last name, and that his original name wasn't going to be Christopher Steele. I think it was going to be Christopher Peak. So reading that, I was like, ooh, some tea. So I don't know, it just might be something I might decide to do later on, or I'll just keep doing this for a while, which just seems most likely because it's a little easier for me when, you know, trying to get started with creating and building on The Sims. But besides that, I just thought that these two were just such a beautiful couple. Plus, she is a much older woman than him. Like, she is so much older that she is literally about to be an elder pretty soon. So I'm gonna need her at least pop out one baby, okay? Because I'm trying to build a legacy before, you know, her eggs are cracked. So and he's younger than her as well, okay? Ain't no shame in being with an older woman. But yeah, like I got them together. They start dating for a while. They're a really cute couple. Even when I'm not controlling them, like they just have so much love for each other. It's just ridiculous. Like, why am I single? Anyways, not me being jealous of my fake Sims character, okay? Like, but I really love this build. Honestly, I did my thing with this. I'm not gonna lie, I was questioning things in the beginning, but it honestly ended up coming together and looking amazing, which you'll see later on in the video. And I I did my big one with this one. Like I did my big one with this one. Like you could tell me nothing. I'm definitely proud of myself because like the more and more start coming together, the more confident I started to feel, and I just stopped trying to focus on like, oh, make sure it looks like a church, and just like I was like, you know what, go with the flow, Leo. Just go with the flow. Don't worry about like what it looks like. Don't worry about, just because it's looking good, and like it looks like a wedding. Like I would have my wedding here 100%. I would have my wedding here. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and enjoy the rest of the video, and I will come right back to talk about the wedding later. Enjoy! Subscribe! I am back, and if you stay tuned, thank you for staying. And the next part is going to showcase these two lovebirds' wedding. I tried my best with the recording and making sure I got everything, so I just hope you guys enjoy. Thank you.